Hi, Karen here. Somebody planted a seed of awareness in me when I was 24. I'm 62 now, so that's a long time ago. If you hear somebody snoring, it's the dog. I'll show you. There he is. And that lady has planted a seed in me in the most easy way we can find information, that's through books. I remember when I was in my 20s, I used to go into bookstores all the time and just look around and see whether something was paying attention to me or I was drawn to. And I remember there was this little book, and the title was very inviting, and it was in Flemish. It was in Dutch, so it was translated, and in Dutch it was called "If Only He Is Happy." But it's written by Robin Norwood, and the original title is Women Who Love Too Much. And I was drawn to that title because I remembered asking myself, is that possible? Can you love somebody too much? And although I can't remember what the book was all about, what she did is she planted a seed in me about being aware of how your childhood experiences can form your whole adult life. Looking back now, I can see how important that phrase, that little message that she gave to me was. It's not little, it's big actually, because I remember I was reading the book and I was doubting the information she was presenting in that book. She was talking about people that were traumatized, abused in war zones, growing up in war zones, losing family members in an early age, being sexually abused, like horror stories. And then she said, perhaps you think you come from a happy family, but if one of your parents is addicted to alcohol, or if one of your parents is controlling and dominant, that counts as well. And I remember that I was so surprised by that sentence. This is the sentence that actually spoke the most to me, because I could not figure out that could have an impact on somebody who is just dominant. Controlling wasn't even the word I was using. Dominant was something that resonated with me, because when I grew up, I know that I thought I was coming from a happy family, and I know that I used to say to people, but I have a very severe dad. He's like, he's really strict. We know what we can do and what we can't do. And the more I grew up, the more I started to say that he's a dominant person. And that's one of the reasons why I got out of the house very early. I married when I was 21. I just wanted to leave the house. I didn't want to live with the dominance, with somebody like hovering over me all the time, pushing, manipulating me into decisions I didn't want to take. I didn't think of that as being controlled, because this is the way I grew up. And it's amazing that sometimes you don't even see what's happening in your own house, because you don't know that how they treat you is manipulation and controlling, because this is the only things I knew. And I remember whenever we were sitting at the table and we would say something wrong, or we would behave in a wrong manner, he would just look at us. He would just turn his head, look at us, and it would silence us. So talking about being a controlling dad, I didn't see it this way. I thought I grew up in a happy family. So this is just to say that most of the times we can really hold to believe that we come from a happy family because we didn't see abuse in the house. There was no physical abuse, there was no sexual abuse, there was no... This is my dog making strange noises, I'm so sorry. So we look at our own childhood, and sometimes we don't see it because it's not obvious. It's just not obvious. When I was thinking of my dad, I thought he was like, how you say that in English? I thought he was just annoying. That was the word. And most of the times I was just proud of my dad because he was a smart guy. He knew what he was doing. He was also very handy. He was working in a bank. He had like status in the bank. And I was proud of my dad. I was also proud of my mom because she was loving and caring, and she had this really big heart. So to me, there was nothing wrong in my childhood. I just came from a happy family with a bit of a controlling dad, dominant, strict. So just to say that I will keep on sharing my own insights and the things that come up in me, because I think it's really important that we hear each other's stories. I listen to stories of other survivors all the time because I learn so much. I get new insights, but also listen to therapists talking about narcissistic abuse. I listen to podcasts. There's so much information that we can gather, but sometimes we only need one sentence in a book to understand that perhaps we don't come from a happy family, so happy family as we thought. I'm thankful for that book. I'm thankful for the fact that she planted the seed, because it made me stay open and curious about perhaps what she says is true. Perhaps I should investigate. Perhaps I should read another book about this. Perhaps I should. So when people started to, in therapy later on, started to referencing back to my dad, I was like, oh, this is not the first time I've been hearing this. This is not the first time somebody is actually pointing towards my dad. And that made it simpler to get to insights and to understand, not only with the mind, but with the body, that what they're saying is correct. I know when you're in abuse, it's really difficult to stay open and curious, because that's something they take away from you, because they manipulate you, they hijack your mind, they're in your head all the time. So you really only focus on them to get your information from. So I think it's a really good attitude. My dog is going all over the place. I think perhaps he feels the stress. When I have problems trying to express myself in English, I get all stressed. It feels like he's picking it up. I'm just gonna show him. So I don't know. Now he's just like calm. It's so funny. What I wanted to say, yes, that when you're in an abusive relationship, when you're with a narcissist, with your toxic person, you're so focused on them. You only think about them. They're in your head, and they influence you to hear. So you can't even think or be open anymore to somebody else's information. So I think that's staying curious and staying open is one of the best tactics I can invite you to. Because the first step before you actually decide to leave a narcissistic abusive relationship is awareness. And you need to be curious and to be open to become aware of the things that are not correct, that are not working well. I'm gonna quit this, I'm gonna stop recording because my dog doesn't agree with this one. So just to inform you that stay open, stay curious, and perhaps there's something in my reasoning that might highlight something at your end, and that might give you the insights or the seed that you need to make different decisions, because that's exactly what I want, that you can make a different decision when you're in a situation that is not good for you. Stay safe, stay open, stay curious.